Hello Star Wars fans and collectors, welcome back to a brand new Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figure review. Today we will be reviewing one of the last figures of the 2012 Vintage Collection line, and this is figure number 103, Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars The Clone Wars. This is definitely a must-have figure in our collection. The Clone Wars is definitely a popular series in the Star Wars universe, and so far the figures that have been released in realistic form have been a true success, and for Hasbro to continue doing this with the current Clone Wars lines is definitely something very exciting in my opinion. Up top you can see the Star Wars The Clone Wars logo, which just looks really cool in the Vintage Collection packaging. You have Obi-Wan's name right there. On the right hand side you have a awesome image of Obi-Wan. The Hasbro did a good job of making Ewan's hair a tad bit shorter and putting his face on a mock-up version with his clone armor in the Clone Wars TV series. It has the Kenner logo there. It's in various different languages because it's from the other side of the world. It's still not the actual US packaging. But as you can see, it has the other figures from the wave that are actually brand new. Ahsoka, Weequay, Emperor's Royal Guard, Lumat, and Nien Nunb. And then you can see the other figures. Obi-Wan is also, a part of this wave, and then you have figures from the past waves, which some of these I have reviewed. The current vehicles from the Vintage Collection line. Barcode, Hasbro logos, all that good stuff. Okay, so on to the figure. First of all, I want to go over the articulation. Obi-Wan here has a ball jointed neck, ball hinge shoulders and elbows, swivel wrists, swivel waist, swivel hips, ball hinged knees, and ball hinged ankles, which is your typical average articulation for a Vintage Collection figure. Now, next thing, the detail on this figure is fantastic. Hasbro went all out with this Obi-Wan. Starting with the likeness on his face, it has a very nice likeness to Ewan McGregor. I think definitely one of the best head sculpts Hasbro has made for Obi-Wan, and to make it look like Ewan McGregor. One of the interesting things I think we need to point out is the fact that Hasbro did not include like a little bit of gray hair spots, since in Revenge of the Sith, you can see a little bit of white on his beard, his sideburns, and his hair overall. He still has brown hair here, so he's still sort of young, I guess. They also got some nice weathering on his armor, which I think is very, very cool. It's just like he has in the Clone Wars, how it should be. On his shoulder right there you can see the Republic logo and his communicator that he uses to contact anyone he needs to, Anakin, Commander Cody, whoever he needs to contact. Down below, his Jedi robe looks, very good. His belt is detailed with the pouches on both sides. Of course, his lightsaber actually clips on, which is good because for Anakin, Hasbro did not allow Anakin's lightsaber to be clipped on. So I guess Hasbro made sure that Obi-Wan had this advantage. His tunic up front here, it's plastic, and it's separate too. Separate piece, and then you have this part made of soft goods for more posability. Okay, and then his legs right here also have some nice weathering. You can tell Obi-Wan's been in battle. back here. Same thing, soft goods, a little bit of weathering back there as well. Detail on this guy is definitely very good. Now I want to give a comparison to the Revenge of the Sith Vintage Collection figure. Although the Vintage Collection Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan is indeed a repack from a 2005 Revenge of the Sith figure, so you can see major updates for sure. For one thing, like I said, one of the obvious details is, first of all, the head sculpt likeness. The Clone Wars one definitely looks a lot more like Ewan McGregor, and if you look at the Revenge of the Sith one, you can see the white spots, like I said, because his hair is, you know, getting lighter and lighter as he's getting older. And then the Clone Wars one just has brown hair. You can also tell just by looking at the height of Obi-Wan is definitely different too. As you can see, Clone Wars one is much taller, which I think what they really tried to do is get it more to scale. So I congratulate them for that too. And also, the Clone Wars one is a lot bulkier than the Revenge of the Sith one. The Revenge of the Sith one is skinnier. And one last thing is the lightsaber hilts. If you compare the lightsaber hilts also, hopefully you guys can see this, probably not too well, but the Clone Wars Obi-Wan's lightsaber hilt is actually a lot bulkier as well, as opposed to the Revenge of the Sith lightsaber hilt. The colors are a bit better also on the Clone Wars one, of course, since it's more up to date. And it's definitely a lot more detailed. So, all in all, Obi-Wan is definitely a figure to have in your collection, especially if you like the realistic versions of the Clone Wars. He goes perfect with his apprentice Anakin, and it's just definitely an awesome figure, a must-have. Articulation is great, detail is great. You can definitely have your own live-action version of the Clone Wars displayed in many different forms. It's just so cool. But I would like to know your feedback, so please comment below, give a thumbs up, share your thoughts. Please follow me on Facebook and stick around because there will be plenty more reviews to come. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, may the Force be with you.